Thank you, Scott. I just started my screen share, so please let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Also, let me know that you can see my desktop. Excellent. I appreciate that. So guys, this is the Wednesday QA webinar. This is really your webinar. I'm going to spend a good portion of the first part of the webinar talking about the product. I'm going to really clearly define, because I saw some early questions here, the differences between the standard subscription and the premium, what you really get between the two different products. Both fantastic tools, but there's a little something special that we put into the premium, and I'll also take you on a little bit of a kind of a tour or a preview, if you will, of some of the things that we're doing with the AI. Also, I see that because such a majority of you guys do subscribe already to the premium, I'm going to dive into the AI a little bit more today. I'm going to talk about really how we do it, and well, not how we do it, but how Holly does it, and what she's doing behind the scenes every day after the market closes. And that's going to give you guys a little bit more insight into the stream of information that's being delivered the next day. And Holly's really been on fire lately. That's our AI engine, kind of personified her into Holly, otherwise known as Holly Grail. But she's really been outperforming the market and performing a lot of different types of strategies as of recently, going long, going short, and I think even today there was a simultaneous trade. But we'll dive right into it. Let me just start here by quickly giving the disclaimer. Trade Ideas, we are a technology company, a software financial technology company. We are not an investment advisory firm. So guys, any of the symbols that I talk about today, any of the securities, these are not going to be investment recommendations for you or trading recommendations. I'm going to just go through the software and show you what we do, really where the value of Trade Ideas lies. And I hope at the end of this webinar, everybody has a real clear understanding of what Trade Ideas does and how it can help you find ideas in the marketplace. But before I do that, Trade Ideas, we've been in business for about 14 years, and as a result of that, we have put together a really comprehensive trading platform. I mean, you can't trade with it, but it's an idea generation platform. It's a tool that sits right alongside your brokerage platform and spots these opportunities in real time throughout the day. And it's like a piece of clay. I mean, it's an incredible piece of clay that you can either mold yourself, you can create your own windows, you can configure it to your heart's delight, or you can use what we've done for you out of the box. So we allow you to get started right away without knowing how to configure the tool to be able to get some instant value out of it. But on this screen right here, I want to convey the fact that, like I said, this is a very comprehensive platform, and as such, a lot of features and functions in it, but there's incredible support at Trade Ideas. I mean, support is something that we absolutely pride ourselves on. The product is amazing, but it's only as good as the people that know how to use it. So we have, I'll just start by talking about our trading room, moderated by Barry. He's in this chat room here, in this webinar here today, answering some of the questions that are being asked. But Barry is moderating a trading room all day long, and it's an incredible resource of information, not only from what you can do with the Trade Ideas tools, but as far as experienced traders using this technology to find opportunities in the market, share those opportunities in real time with everybody. And if I didn't mention, it's a free room, so whether you're a subscriber to Trade Ideas or not, incredible value can be derived out of going to our trading room. So you can access our trading room right from our home page. It's one of the menu items in the upper portion of the screen. It'll say Trading Room. Just select that, and you can log right in. Like I said, you don't need to have an account with Trade Ideas. You log in with your email address, and away you go. So it's a full audio screen share throughout the day, and I assure you, if you have an opportunity to visit it, you'll find it invaluable. In addition to that, every new subscriber to Trade Ideas gets a one-on-one session with one of our educators. So you get to spend an hour, about an hour with one of our educators doing a screen share, and they're going to walk you through the software. They're going to show you how to use it, how to set it up to your liking, make sure that it's laid out appropriately on your desktop, and you'll be walking away from that session with a clear idea of what you want to do and what you can do with the tool. So everybody should please take advantage of that. Now, for that, you do need to be a subscriber to the software. And then we have a variety of different webinars through the week. We have a webinar on Monday, we have 2 webinars on Wednesday typically, and a webinar on Thursday. And these are all interactive sessions. This isn't just us, rambling to you guys. This is interactive, and I hope I hope you'll use this time towards the latter half to interact with me and ask some questions. So let's just start off before I get into the software. I want to really make sure everybody understands our standard versus premium subscription. And the standard subscription is really the core of Trade Ideas. It's what everything is based upon. The alert window, top list, multi-strategy window, the compare count visualization window, your charts, and access to the channel bar. So this is what's included in the standard subscription. And you can have unlimited number of windows. You can save unlimited number of windows to your cloud. So it's a very, very comprehensive product. And what you get with the premium is you get all of that you get with the standard, but you get 4 other components of the tool, if you will. Our backtesting tool, which we call the odds maker. The backtesting is our event-based backtesting tool, a lot different than what you would get with something like a TradeStation, which is a great backtesting tool, but more focused on an individual security going back X number of years and really finding how you can trade that particular stock. This is a lot different. This is creating a strategy and hypothesizing how you would do if you were to buy and sell based upon your instructions every time a signal is generated, and it'll let you know how that strategy would have performed over the course of the last quarter. So that's part of the premium. Price alerts, which I'll demonstrate for you, but it allows you at a point and click to be able to go right to your chart, visualize a price level, right-click on it, and set an alert so that when a stock, that particular stock, crosses that threshold, you're going to be identified to that. And it's really powerful. It's not just going to be identified today. Maybe that move doesn't happen for a couple days, week, month. When it does, you're going to be notified of it. So it's a great way to always be, or not to not leave the securities that are at the top of your mind kind of by the wayside as they move away from you. The Holly AI Stream, which is our artificial intelligence, it's really built on the foundation of our backtesting unit. We put our computers to work on the backtester using a lot of statistical tools, in-sample and out-of-sample data to really create a stream of information that is second to none in the industry. There's really nothing like it that we've seen, and we're extremely proud of what it does and how it performs, and I'll kind of take you into the guts of that. And then another little mini feature that you get with the premium is our RBI or our RBI and GBI alerts. And this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg with respect to the TIQ windows. This is something that we've been experimenting with for several years now, but it's an incredibly powerful programming language that allows us to build really any type of alert or top list strategy regardless of whether those alerts or filters are available inside of TI Pro. So incredibly powerful. We're just scratching the surface with these 2 windows, but this is something that's going to be expanding as time goes by. So I'm not going to actually even spend any time on the visuals here in the presentation. I want to get right to the software. And we're looking at Trade Ideas Pro right now. Trade Ideas comes in a downloadable application as well as a web-based version. It's a really slick web-based version, HTML5, free-floating windows inside of the browser. You can have all of these regular windows. We don't have the premium yet inside of the web, but that's all coming, and eventually the web version will be equal to that of the downloadable. But what we're looking at right now, let's just kind of take a look at what we're looking at. This is really the default layout. This is our social media channel, and you can tell what we're looking at by looking over on the channel bar here and noticing that the social media channel is on. So everything that's being presented in this view right here is being talked about more than normal on social media. And we connect directly to StockTwits, we connect to their feed, and like all the other connection points, whether it's the NYC, the NASDAQ, we collect this data in our data center in real time, and from that data, we create new data out of that. And one of the data points that we create out of the StockTwits data is the StockTwits relative activity. So we can tell at any given time how much is a particular stock being talked about compared to normal. And it's just another metric that's out there. It's not out there a lot, and people don't really know this particular metric of social activity. And it does equate a little bit to the volume of a stock. When a stock's volume starts to increase, the chatter on the street starts to increase. So there's a bit of a parallel there, but it's another data point that we take and we really create something fresh out of it. And it's taking all these new data points that we have, whether it's relative volume, stock to its activity, position in a 20-day range, and utilizing that data to hunt out and find opportunities that exist in the marketplace. People use the channel bar in a lot of different ways. Some people take it as an initial idea and modify these as their own. Some people stack their own windows around the channel bar, around the different channels that come up. Other people just may want to borrow a window out of the various channels and incorporate that window into their own layout. All of these types of interactions are possible with the way that you use the software. When you come in at the beginning of the day, you may want to go to the pre-market channel. So you just select, it's like a remote control to the market. You select the pre-market channel, and these pre-configured trade ideas windows all populate. So we've got a couple of charts that come up on different time frames. I've got my short-term view here, 5-minute chart, a little longer-term daily chart, and then I'm looking at a couple of top list windows. My top list are really a ranked list of stocks based on the filtered criteria. In this case, I'm looking for stocks that happen to be gapping up and gapping down. So this is giving me a real clear indication before the market even opens what stocks are going to be opening up, or which stocks are trading up in the pre-market, which ones are trading down. And another metric that we analyze, and we have a full earnings channel, but a little data point over here on the right is the earnings date. So you can really be instantly aware, is this gap happening today because earnings were just reported today or yesterday? So that information is really relevant. We have one of our streaming windows down at the bottom, and each window is identified by an icon in the upper left corner, M. That's our multi-strategy window. So this is a stream of information that's being presented to you, and in the pre-market, it's a real-time stream of stocks making pre-market highs, pre-market lows, stocks that are running up, running down, trading on high volume. And anytime you click on a security, it takes us to this other window that I haven't talked about yet, which is our single stock window. The single stock window allows you to really dive into a particular stock and take a look at some of the data points. We're looking at the profile here so I can read a little bit about the stock, but if I wanted some of the special metrics, where is that stock in relationship to its year range? Well, I can tell OCLR is at the top of its year range, top of its 5-day range. But how is it doing intraday? I've got that information. Fundamental data, it's all right there. And it's like all of our other windows. If you right-click on it, you can configure it and customize it to your heart's delight. There are over 200 different filters in the software, and any one of those filters can be a viewable data point for you. My favorite channel, it happens to be the Surge channel. And this channel right here is really looking for momentum plays, stocks that are moving, making highs for the day, running up, but doing so on significant volume. Just a lot of interesting activity happening here. And when you look at all the different windows, they're all telling you something a little bit different. Now, this is better viewed during real time during the market activity. I do have an after hours channel that's going to be looking for stuff happening after hours. But this is giving you that real-time stream, and some of the great stocks that came through the Surge channel as I was watching it today, the ARR. I mean, this thing here was just on fire, and it was just coming through. And one of the nice things, when it came through this upward momentum window right here, it gave me an alert count of like 200, and this is a count that's happening all day long. So it's suffice it to say, it's a tool that's sitting here. It's your trading assistant, listening to the market, listening to every single tick of every stock, and finding that nuance or that idea that you may have programmed in, or we're going to deliver right to you through one of these different channels. Let me talk real quick about this particular window right here. This is our compare count window. It's a visualization window that allows you to put two different strategies in it. In this case, I've got a new high strategy and a new low strategy. So both of these guys are pitted against each other, and so we get a real-time visual indication, are the bulls winning right now, are the bears winning right now? And it becomes super interesting when one of these bars gets to be 60% or more. You know, there's a significant advantage in the market. So let's say this green bar right here happened to be above 60%. Well, that's letting you know that the bulls are clearly winning right now, and the momentum is definitely strong to the upside. And you can use this window in a variety of ways. Right now, when you load it up, it's going to keep track from the moment that you loaded that window, and it's going to give you that cumulative view. But if at any point during the day you wanted to just clear it, you can do that and start fresh, because what was happening a half hour ago or cumulative for the last half hour might be really different than what might be starting to happen right now. And so this gives you another view of the pressure that exists inside of the market. And that's our goal, is we're trying to provide all these tools to help you, to really help you find alpha and succeed in the market. So let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about the Holly channel. And in fact, I'm on a super, I don't even want to call it a beta version. I think this is an alpha version. And we've got some really cool stuff that we're adding to it. So let me just load it up. This is just a cloud link that I had put together. It looks very much like the Holly channel. But let's let this load up here, and then I'll talk about where we're going with it. And I also want to load up a strategy. I'm going to talk about the bullish pullback, and I'm going to talk about that strategy before Holly got it and that strategy after Holly got a hold of it, and specifically for last night and how it performed today. Well, there weren't any trades today, but we're going to take a look at the historical view of that particular backtest and kind of everything about it. So this right here is our AI channel, and the AI channel really provides ideas, streams of ideas throughout the day, but these are all statistically back-tested ideas, and these strategies are modified every single day by the artificial intelligence engine. We provide a list of 45 different base strategies to the machine, and at the end of every day, Holly goes through those 45 strategies, figures out which filters are most important, modifies them, or adds them, or removes them, does something specific to that strategy, and then moves on to the next one. So it goes through every one of these strategies, runs millions of back tests on them, adds today's data to it, and really just goes through each strategy with a fine-tooth comb. After they're all done, after it's done that with every strategy, and that could be, midnight tonight, it's then going to put itself in the combine, and every one of those strategies gets pitted against each other, where only the best of the best, the cream of the crop, which rises to the top. So we have a variety of different metrics, the profit factor, win percentage. These metrics need to be a certain value for these strategies to appear the next day. And this is what we were presented with today. We were presented with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different strategies. 3 of them were short, 5 of them were long. And if you look at the data, what it conveyed today is only 4 of these strategies generated any signals today. 4 of the other strategies didn't do anything. But these 4 strategies really put out some incredible opportunities. Now, the market was marginally up today. It was a nice day in the market, but it was a fantastic day when you look at some of the trades that were suggested by Holly. And we're now, Holly's been in existence since January 1st, maybe a couple of days prior to that. And through that time, we've been enhancing Holly. Holly's been learning through that time, and we've added a new mode to it, and it's called the risk on and risk off mode. And it's been introduced for a couple weeks now, but we're really taking that particular mode to the next level. The risk on, risk off mode is really letting you know, is there follow through in the marketplace or not? Are these positions that were identified positions that are going to continue to run even after the suggested hold time has expired? And with this particular version that I'm showing you, we're creating some automation to that risk on and risk off. It's going to be letting you know which mode is the most profitable mode to be in. So it's going to always be highlighting that information for you. And it's one of our goals to make this stream of information really more actionable for our users. One way, there are a million different ways to use Holly. Barry uses it one way. I use it one way. Dan uses it a completely different way. But and then there are also similarities to the way that we use this particular tool. Some people will get into the position when it's initiated if they like the particular setup. Some let it kind of work its way out in the market. But the one thing that's that you can't argue are the symbols that Holly identifies. There are footprints that are taking place for those symbols to actually come to this window. And these symbols seem to be in play for a good majority of the day. Typically there's some volume in it, but each one of these different strategies has a different flavor. It has a different setup. So what I want to do right here, and then we'll go through some of these trades that were generated today, but I want to kind of dive into one of the strategies right here, the bullish pullback, right? This is a strategy that's a long strategy. It's a 60-minute hold strategy, and it's really looking at a strong stock that happens to be pulling back, and based upon the statistics, thinking this is a really good opportunity for a long position. So I have these windows saved in my cloud. These were from today, or the last, yesterday's testing strategies for today. So this is going to be the bullish pullback. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to start with is our base strategy. And I talked a little bit about the base strategy. The base strategy is what we feed Holly. So on this bullish pullback strategy, I'll just go into it and you can take a quick look at the configuration. It might be easier to look at the summary view, and I'll stretch it down here a little bit. But the trigger event here is looking for a stock that has a 25% pullback from its high based upon yesterday's close. And these are all the specific values. If it's easier to look at it on the filter screen, these are all the different values. So there's a little bit of fundamental. The price has to be between 20 and 100, so it's a little bit more of an expensive stock strategy. Spread can't be more than a certain number of pennies, the time of day, and this range. And so this is the strategy. And what happens, cancel out of this, I'm going to run the back test. So I'm going to right-click in the window, select back test. And right here, this is we're telling it here that we want to go ahead and buy this stock anytime. The time is 15 minutes after the open, and it's going to be 11:30. I'm on the West Coast, so the last hour and a half I'm not going to be initiating any positions. Well, this strategy here is a 45-minute hold, and I'm putting on a dollar stop or a dollar profit target of $1.50, and I'm going to use the Smart Stop. And the Smart Stop is a proprietary algorithm to trade ideas that looks at a stock's range for the day, compares it to the average true range, it looks at its relative volume, and creates a metric on that. So every stock really has a different Smart Stop potential. The advanced here, I'm back testing this for the last 30 days. That's the last 30 trading days, about a month and a half. And I'm going to go ahead and simulate the buy. And now it's essentially going to our server farm in San Diego and crunching all of this data, looking at this strategy, and anytime there was a signal presented, hypothesizing the buy during those particular time periods. So this is the backtest output that I get. This is letting me know, well, this is an equity curve. The top line is my gross. This takes into consideration commission. This takes into consideration slippage. So I've got these three different metrics, and this is a strategy that's giving me 1,700 trades over a 30 trading day period. That's a lot of trade. That's more than anyone would ever want to do, and as a result, you're over trading and you're going to lose money in your account. So that's not a good strategy, but what it is a very good base strategy. It's something that Holly can use to ingest, look at, and make better. So, and she uses statistics to do this, and like I said earlier, there's a full in-sample and out-of-sample data set to really avoid the curve fitting that can take place in a lot of backtesting, optimization type of situations. So this right here is before Holly gets a hold of it. Let me bring in the Holly strategy today. So this is the bullish pullback that Holly was waiting for. And if I stretch this out a little bit, so you can see 8.3, this probably triggered, well, I don't know, but let's go ahead and run the back test on this and see exactly what happened. So same time frame, these are going to be the same instructions, right? But before I run the back test, let me kind of give you a peek into it. So you're going to see here that Holly added a couple more filters to it. Matt might have changed another filter, but didn't do a whole lot of work to it, but a little bit of work. So let's run it right now. Now remember, this happens every single day, 45 strategies. These strategies are always, we're modifying them, adding strategies to the base, but this is what we come up with. Holly took this strategy right here and turned it into this strategy just by, you can see here, there aren't more than 3 additional filters that have been added to this particular strategy. And what we have now is we have a profit factor, which is the sum total of winning trades over losing trades, the value of 6.7. That's huge, really big. So that's a good number. Total number of trades, 56, of which 75% were winners. It hits my 2-to-1 metric here for average winner to loser. And then the return based upon the metrics that you put in. You can put in a dollar value or a share size per trade to get this equity curve. You get a calendar heat map to see exactly what trades occurred on what dates. You can drill into it and see exactly what trades and what it used for its analysis there. But this right here is the tool that we use. Now, if you were to do this yourself, this is the original one. We have this optimization tab. The optimization tab allows you to really roll your sleeves up, look at the data, and do effectively what Holly's doing. But no human can do what Holly's doing, I promise you. We developed the backtesting tool about 7, 8 years ago, and we got pretty proficient with it. You know, it took some time. It wasn't anything that you could just use and start instantly creating a strategy to make money, and it took some work. Once we figured out what we needed to do, these were the types of rules and programs that we added into Holly to let her take a look at this data. Here's an example. So we're looking at price. We've broken price down into $10 intervals. We know that we're not trading anything below $20. So you can see here, this is the breakdown and the profit factor and the win percentage and the average dollars and the total dollars that we've got for each one of these particular segments here. And you can break the segments into $5 intervals if you want. That's just price, and we can do the same thing with time. You know, maybe it's best not to trade the first half hour of the market. I'm only winning 44% of the time here. I'm losing overall money, and it took that many trades. So that analysis, but when you looked at the other filters tab, this is where you're looking at all the data points that Trade Ideas has to offer. And the same thing, you know, how far was the stock away from the 200 period moving average on a 60-minute chart? Was it bad when it was really high above it, you know, or not? And this is what it's going through. Every one of these filters looking at it, saying this 5-period SMA on a 2-minute chart, it doesn't like it when it's over 2%. That's only 4 trades. It's not going to really make a statistical difference here. But she only used 3 different filters to make this change from a profit factor of 1.12, winning percentage of 50%, to what we have right here. So that's, I hope that's a kind of an indication. It's a lot to explain, really, the guts of what she's doing, but it's really taking this approach at looking at the data, looking at the filters, figuring out if making this change, this filter change, is going to really impact the strategy. And at the end of the day, what you're presented with is a strategy that says, you know, 75% of the signals that come through this particular window, these are positive. These are gainers. So that's really keen information, and one of the reasons why we're so proud of the backtesting tool and of Holly. Let me show you real briefly. Let me bring in a web page here. Kind of give you an idea of how she's been doing in the marketplace. So this is us comparing Holly data, Holly profitability to the spiders. And since we started here at the beginning of the year, you know, there was a kind of a decline when the spiders moved down in the first couple months. We were shorting a few things. We were making some money, and we've recently added some new rules into the software that have really started to accelerate the disparity between the spider performance and the AI performance. So this is the historical chart. Okay, what time is it? Oh, we're a half hour in. Maybe I'm going to invite Scott in, talk a little bit about the pricing, and then let's go right to some questions, and we'll see what you guys. I apologize, I haven't really looked over at the question. I know you're in great hands with Barry and Steve and Scott. So, but if you do have anything that you want to directly ask me, it'll be your time after Scott comes on in.
Yeah, thanks. Sounds good. Yeah, so we're a software as a service company, and our subscription is what we primarily do. So we have 2 tiers of subscriptions. We have premium and standard. Brad outlined early in the presentation the major differences, and that's primarily that the premium version has the backtesting module, Holly the AI, price limit alerts, those type of premium functionality. The standard has everything else, including the charting. Both come with an hour of one-on-one training. It's the hour of power. As soon as you subscribe to Trade Ideas, just make sure that you go to the support section, click on training, and sign up for that. We like to thank everyone for attending by giving them a way to save when they sign up. So if you're not currently a subscriber and decide to sign up, just go to trade-ideas.com/price and use the promo code questions, all in caps, for this webinar, and that'll take 15% off of your first month or year of premium, or 10% off the same for the standard. You can also go to your handouts panel on your GoToWebinar interface. Just expand that handouts panel thing, and there's a link right there to a PDF you can download that not only includes this as a reminder, but it also has the card that has all of our contact information, that has the phone number, our info@trade-ideas.com, and the Twitter and Facebook handles to follow. So I invite everyone that's not a subscriber currently to go ahead and go to tradeideas.com/price and use that questions code. Or if you want to upgrade from regular to premium, if you're on the monthly regular, just go ahead and purchase one of the premium plans to overwrite your regular one. It will take over the older subscription. If you're on the $888 a year and you want to upgrade to Premium Trade Ideas, there is an upgrade path for that, but you might have to contact info@trade-ideas.com for the details, and we can add that to your account. If anyone has any questions, just go ahead and ask in the questions panel. Go ahead and turn you back over to Brad, and you can ask him any direct questions you have for him to demonstrate now. Brad?
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. All right, let's, guys, if you have questions, now's the time. I'm going to go through a few little things while I'm waiting for stuff to come in. I think I talked to you a little bit about, I was going to show you the price alert functionality, part of the premium. Wanted to make sure they understood the value that exists there. And the price alerts and the AI, they go so well together. Let me use kind of the dual demonstration here. So I'm going to take this, these are the strategy trades today. These are the different signals that Holly generated. Let me just sort this here on the risk on profit percentage. And this was probably the biggest winner of the day right here. This was ADXS. It's a $13 stock. It moved $2, and it was an incredible signal. It was an incredible call by Holly. And this is a way that, in fact, I was using the price alerts today on this one because it generated a really nice signal early. And if you notice, we've got two different modes. This might be, you want to kind of zoom in right here, but we've got two different modes. We've got that risk off mode, and we've got the risk on mode. It's something that we're going to be automating a little bit more, as I alluded to earlier. But the risk off mode essentially exited this position pretty early, right? It was in it for 9 minutes. It got in. This is a 5-minute chart, so only on the second candle did it decide to get out. So that was right about here, and it got out on the pullback. It wanted to make sure that it locked in some profits. And when Holly does that, what I like to do is I like to use the price alerts. Just go to the chart, find the high that it had previously, you right-click on it, and you create a price alert. And that's what I did at this point here. It put a line in here, and when the stock dipped down, like it was supposed to, it pulled back, and when it broke through, I was alerted to that particular breakthrough again. So I received that information through the price alert. So different ways to play it. You may not want to have participated early on, but when you saw the pullback and the rebreak, that little cup and handle, I mean, that's always just a great signal to enter into. And using the price alerts with the Holly signals, I mean, it is such a 1-2 punch that I can't even tell you. Let's say, okay, this stock right here, INSY, had a very nice day today. You can see on the daily it broke above some consolidation, some resistance that it previously had. It went in to fill that gap that it had. But right now, I want to know if this stock actually breaks above today's high tomorrow. And I'm going to go ahead and create a price alert in there. Just right-clicking on the chart. If I want to adjust the price, I can do that. I'll show you how you can adjust it on the chart. I'm just going to put AI signal, and I'm going to put the date on this thing, 8-3. And I'm just going to leave it just like that, and I'm going to hit save. What it does is it puts that line right there. It's red, letting me know that it's waiting here for a signal to occur. And when that pops through, my price alert window is going to pop up. I can click on the signal. NC will appear on my charts. This red line will appear. If I want to move this particular line a little bit down, I can just grab it, move it, and it'll adjust the price for me. And you can see it's adjusting it over here on the daily as well. If I want to take this daily and I want to move it up a little bit, it's going to get out of my view here. It's going to be somewhere up here. So the price alert is just a phenomenal recent addition to the premium package. Really, a recent addition to Trade Ideas in general. So it looks like. So when Steve answers the question, I'm going to assume that it's been covered here. So all good. So hopefully you're covered there, Wayne. It looks like Steve and Barry both got you. Okay, so let's go through some of these. FIT, what a fantastic opportunity this one was as well today. And now the Alpha Predator. The Alpha Predator strategy is one of the few strategies that we allow in to Holly with a under 59% win rate. And there's a reason for that. It's because with nice tight stops, you can actually have an incredible strategy that's winning at 52%. So if you're managing the trade, and that's one of the things that Holly really helps you understand. For the experienced trader, really just doing what you know should be done. For the novice trader, teaching you how to manage a trade, teaching you what's appropriate, how not to let a winner turn into a loser, and all the general rules of trading that you want to accumulate, or that you inevitably accumulate through time or through bloody noses. But it's that information that's really valuable, and you can utilize Holly as that trading assistant. That's someone where you can look over their shoulder, see what they're doing, how they're doing, how's their profitability, how's their P&L. I mean, it's all right there for you to take a look at. MTOR, now I know this one, this one actually continued on through the day as well. And so any of these columns that we have inside of the software, they're all sortable. And the idea behind that sortability is to really allow you to really hunt down and find the stocks that are moving. We recently added this column right here, profit change last 5. And what that means, if you sort on that, that means the last 5 minutes, what's been happening with that stock. And when I talk about the AI being an actionable stream, it's not necessary that when a signal is generated that you automatically get into that position. These are now signals that are waiting for anything, and you don't have to take that initial call. You can be looking at it later in the day, and if you find that the profit change or what we find is the profit change over the last 5 minutes really does allow you to identify those stocks that are just starting to heat up. So, Violetta, that's a great question. Can you actually use our software to trade? Well, you can. You do need to have a brokerage account through one of our brokerage partners. Right now, we have the only brokerage partner we have for our automated trading is Lightspeed, but we're deep in development with Interactive Brokerage. So Interactive Brokerage, in the next 2 months, I'm anticipating having our Brokerage Plus module, and you would get to that. That is another, I should have added that in there, but that is another premium feature. The Brokerage Plus allows you to really automate any, with the exception of Holly, because we don't give you these strategies to automate, but any strategy, any alert strategy that is created in Trade Ideas can be automated so that when a signal appears, you're automatically going to be entering into the position. So I'll add the Strategies tab, and this is where you manage the different strategies. Let me bring in the Position tab, and this is kind of like your heads-up display. It's giving you a P&L graph just like the AI window, but allowing you to use the smart buttons to get in and out, to double your position, to minimize your position, the order entry panel. So like I said, right now it's just connected to Lightspeed, but Interactive Brokerage is coming soon. So Austin, I apologize. I cannot share the bullish pullback strategy. It's one of the proprietary strategies inside of Holly. I just thought I would really kind of use that particular strategy to get a little bit closer to what's really happening. I do apologize. We do share everything. There's nothing that we don't share with the exception of the Holly strategies, and there's a reason for it, because that bullish pullback strategy, if I gave you that one today, it might be good for a while, but the reality is Holly's looking at that strategy every day and deciding what she wants to do with it. Does she want to change it? Does she want to keep it, modify it? So those are all the considerations that go into it. So Isaiah, yes, this webinar is being recorded, and it'll be available on our YouTube channel. All of the webinars are recorded there, and so there's a host of information, not only from the QA, but from the Trade of the Week and from our office hours webinars as well. So no, Holly strategies will not be actionable when IB comes online with Brokerage Plus. We don't want to give some of our customers an unfair advantage over some of the other ones. So that's the reason for it. And we're treating this as a stream. This is not a red light, green light type of signal. In White Rabbit, I am almost 99% sure that we link with SureTrader. We do link with so many different products out there. Let me show you the linking, for instance, that we do with Realtek. And this is Realtek over here on the right, and we have a tool module in the tools here called external linking. So if I bring that up, and there's a little nuance for each and every platform. It might be a little different linking to TradeStation as it is to this right here, but let me show you what we do. So I'm going to go ahead and add the link, and all I do is move my cursor over here, press and release the Shift key, hit that, and hit OK, and close the window. Now what I have the Realtek charts. I could have a Realtek order entry panel open as well if I wanted to. And then when I click on a symbol, not only will my trade ideas charts update if I have them open, don't have to use them, I could use the Realtick if I wanted to, but my Realtick will update as well. So just incredible synergies between the different applications, and Realtick didn't do anything to allow us to link. We've created a little linking connector tool that links to about 90% of the different products that are out there, and I think SureTrader is one of them. So Violetta, the option alerts. So we don't have option alerts, but we do have option filters. And the option filters, let me go to the options channel, kind of highlight some of the different windows that we have that are looking at option data. So again, I've got top list streaming windows here, but the most relevant data point that I have with respect to options would be the options volume today percentage. And like I said, we're connected to the different exchanges. We're connected to Oprah, so we're getting in all of this option data, and so we know what's normal option data for a stock. And when something abnormal happens, like all of these stocks right here, you know, there's a significant number of contracts traded today over what the average is. So that's what we have for the options channel. And if you were to right-click, let me go into a window here, go to Configure, and I'm just going to pull up the different options filters that we have. So the put-call ratio, well, that's not the options. Options volume, yeah, there we go. Options volume today, put volume today, call volume today, and the options volume today percentage. And this right here works very similar to our relative volume. Like, for instance, let me just type in volume. And you can see all the different types of volume filters that we have. I mean, we slice and dice volume like nobody else, whether it's average daily volume, how much a stock is trading right now from a volume perspective compared to normal, what's the 5-minute volume bar look like, the 1-minute volume bar look like, you know, compared to normal on a percentage basis, post-market volume. So all these different ways to take volume and slice and dice it. So White Rabbit, yes, they do come into your computer for a one-on-one tutorial. If you don't want them to, they can certainly do it on their desktop and do a screen share with you. But we found it to be much more effective to do it on your computer, and we've got some great remote control tools that allow us to do it with ease, really. So the TIQ window. So let me show you kind of what it is. Now I'm not going to kind of show you the nuts and bolts behind how this stuff is coded, but you would find the TIQ window up under New, and it says Premium RVI GBI. So if I open up, so this means red bar ignored on a 5-minute chart, green bar ignored on a 5-minute chart. If I select that window, it's really all done for me. There's no configuration. I think there's just a modicum of customization that you can do, but this is it. So you don't get the ability through these TIQ windows as an end user to go in and really modify them like you can the other windows. But like I said earlier, because this is being coded in a programming language, if you wanted to have some type of analysis based on an EMA on a 13 period, you know, that's nothing that we have in Trade Ideas Pro, but that could be configured in this particular tool. So this is an even softer piece of clay that allows us to really create some great stuff. And right now our development team is really focused on the AI. It's also focused on bringing the comparable technology that we have in the application to the web. But after that, well, I don't know that they'll ever be complete, but after we make some progress in that direction, this is another area that we're really going to be fleshing out. And I'm really excited about it because, you know, things that you just can't do in TI Pro, and you can do so much, but the things that you just can't do are achievable here in this. All right, so let me go back here. So TIQ, that stands for Trade Ideas Quant, or Quantalytics. So simulating trades in Brokerage Plus. Now you can, like for instance, I don't know the exact way that it's going to be working with IB because I haven't tested it yet, but it does allow you to simulate trades with Lightspeed. You still need to have that brokerage connectivity, and at some point we may make it so that you don't. But right now you do need to be connected to Lightspeed, and if you were on the Lightspeed demo connection, then you would be simulating it. And there's a nuance that you can't use stops in the demo mode, but that's just a restriction of the Lightspeed demo. I don't know like I said, if that'll translate into the IB version. All right, I think I'm caught up here. Yeah, so okay, guys, if you don't have last questions, pop them in. So, Gabrielle, where can you find a list of scanners pre-made? You saw the watch list for low floaters. That's a custom one. It's one that was made in the by Dan or Barry or someone in the trading room and was just shared about. Certainly, you can ask anyone in support. You can send us an email if you're looking for any particular windows. We can send that to you. We do have a welcome screen. The welcome screen can be brought in from the new area. You go into the strategies. You can find a good number of strategies here, and I'll be adding some more. I'll add some of the webinar strategies to this particular area here. I think I'll create a webinar folder, and it'll have all of those relevant strategies right here. But this is where you can pull them up, pull up any particular strategy that you want, and launch it, and take a look at it. So Joshua, I don't have any data on the improved trading success of people that use our product. Go into our trading room. I'm sure that if you send a message through the trading room, you're going to have a ton of people that are going to be answering you back. All right, you're very welcome. All right, well, I thank you very much for your time today. If you have any additional questions, you can always reach us. Let me bring back our contact page.
Yeah, just make sure to send any of your technical inquiries to info@trade-ideas.com. That's the best place. Or they can reach you direct, Brad at trade-ideas.com. And the phone number is great for billing issues during normal California business hours. That's a great way to reach us quickly for any problems with accessing your account. You can follow Dan Merkin at TradeIdeas1 or follow us at Trade Ideas on Twitter. Facebook.com/TradeIdeasPro is how you find us on Facebook. If you like us there, you'll see some updates there you don't find anywhere else. Thanks for the great presentation, Dan. Brad.
You're welcome, Scott.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Bye.